The war in Ukraine is creating lessons but also a legacy, with militaries worldwide looking keenly at what weapons are being used and how effective they've been. A new research paper by the International Institute for Strategic Studies says the conflict will fuel demand for cruise and ballistic missiles, as well as low-cost military-grade drones, with nations that don't have them in depth looking for ways to buy them on the world market or build their own.
Countries looking at, Iran's Shahad 136 will think either, if we don't get that system, why don't we get something like that as well? I think, also you might see that in Western countries too, in sort of perhaps a less priority on focusing on the sort of the highest end Gucci kit and trying to instead focus a little bit more on what can we produce cheaply and at scale. Simple doesn't mean bad, and simple doesn't mean that it's unsophisticated.
The paper says Ukraine will accelerate the development of more capable missiles, including multi-use munitions that can be used against land and sea targets. Russia is likely to step up its hypersonic missile program, possibly shelving some bigger strategic missile development. Moscow could also help Iran develop its own supersonic missiles in return for greater access to Tehran's drone technology. Russia's already used large numbers of Iranian Shahed kamikaze drones to attack targets inside Ukraine.
I mean, Russia has stepped up its production efforts hugely. Plants like Raduga are running 24/7. They've got 3 shifts on. The Russians have also dropped some programs in order to concentrate on their immediate needs and priorities. So, as an example, there is a under development Russian anti-ship missile called Smivik, which is around a 4,000-kilometer range system. And the Russians have said about, I think they said it last week, they said we're going to put this on hold because we need to focus on our immediate needs and priorities.
The big challenge, says the paper, will be managing this explosion in missile and drone technology. While there's treaties to cover nuclear weapons and WMD, international agreements on limiting the use of cruise missiles or drones will be hard to achieve.
When these architectures were created, missiles were seen as being so inaccurate they could only be really there to deliver WMD. Now, of course, we're seeing an awful lot of countries, including even non-state actors, getting their hands on conventional armed land attack cruise missiles. Conventional ballistic missiles are becoming increasingly accurate, and we're seeing more and more countries acquire them. The problem is how then to create new agreements. And in a sort of a more stable and friendlier environment, that might be possible. Right now, that seems very, very difficult to do.
The paper says closer military ties between Russia and Iran will be destabilising for other countries, particularly at a time when existing arms control agreements are fraying. The task of managing who has access to this missile and drone technology now doubly difficult since Russia's invasion. Simon Newton, Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.